Hi everyone, welcome to another video of mine. As you can see, the weather today has been pretty appalling really, so I've decided to stay inside, keep warm, and in preparation for the summer hopefully ahead, I thought I'd make some new fenders for my boat, as I lost a few, like you do, about your travels. So basically I'm going to show you how I do that. Okay, so how I make my fenders is essentially I get 3 lengths of rope which all measure roughly around about 3.5 meters. This can vary a little bit depending upon the thickness of the rope. If it's thicker, obviously it'll use a little bit more. If it's thinner, it would use less. Although I'd recommend that this sort of thickness of rope is probably the thinnest you'd want to use, otherwise it's probably not practical for the purpose. As you can see here, I'm twisting the ropes together. This will form the little loop at the top of the side fender. Once I'm done, this is just to strengthen it a little bit and sort of make it look a little bit more cool because it's got a sort of spiral pattern to it. Once I've done that, what I do is I thread the third piece of rope through one of the other pieces, as you can see me doing here. I then pull that right through until you get to the centre piece of that rope. The next step is to sort of use a little bit of insulating tape to hold it all together. It just makes it a bit easy to work. If you want to, you could use like twine or some kind of string or something like that just to hold this together in place of the tape. I just use tape because that's what I had to hand and it's quite easy to go and do. I do it in sort of like 3 places down the length. The final piece is what the crown knot, which I'll tie in a moment, will tie up against. So that's essentially the overall length of the fender. So getting around to the crown knot, essentially what I do here is I lay out all the pieces of rope in so nice and neat, and I take the first piece and go over the next one, and then I take the next piece and go over that first piece and the following one and work my way round all the way until I get back to the start here, and then I go through the loop downwards. It looks a bit of a mess here, but as you'll see, once I sort of slowly work my way round all the pieces of rope here and tighten them up, it starts to form sort of like a hexagonal shape, as you can start to see forming here. Now you want to pull this fairly tight, but don't go overly crazy because this is only pulling up tight against the insulating tape. So if you was to go really tight, you'd probably snap the tape and you'd then have to start all over again essentially. It does hold a strength though once you start with the rest of the knots, as they kind of hold this all in place. So the insulating tape is only there really as a holding thing while you're making it. It's not really structural once it's finished. So anyway, once that's all sort of reasonably tight, I'm just sort of checking, everything's all nice and even here. You then flip this the other way up, as I'm now doing, and then spread out all the ropes so they're nice and neat and easy to see which order they run in round the fender. So essentially what I do here is exactly the same as I did on the crown knot on the bottom, and I work my way round so it's the first one over the next one, then that one over the first one and the next one, and all the way around till you get back to the loop again, and that goes straight down through the loop. Once again, I slowly work my way around all the lengths of rope, pulling them a little bit tighter until it sort of butts up nicely against the main bundle in the centre. So that's starting to get nice and tight there, and as you can see, it's starting to form the pattern on the rope there. Okay, so once you're quite happy with that, you basically just repeat that process over and over again until you get near to the top where the loop is. I've sped this up because it took a little while to do, as you can imagine. So if only I could really do this in this speed, I'd have the whole boat done in a matter of minutes. I think the total length of time it took me to make this fender was roughly around about 30 minutes, which isn't too bad, but I've made quite a few of them now, for myself and for the odd other person. So, you know, I've kind of got quite good at this. Essentially, you can now start to see there's like a spiral pattern forming on the fender with the colours, which is one of the reasons I chose sort of some quite bright colours rather than just using plain black rope. I think it looks cool, and I like to be a little bit different. It's nice to be somewhat traditional because traditional fenders and things like that tend to work and do the job. Yeah, it's nice to be a little bit different by using colours as opposed to just plain rope. As you can see, I'm now slowly getting towards the top of the fender. Now, you tend to want to stop just above the last piece of tape. You want enough of the loop showing that you can easily get a piece of rope onto it to tie onto the boat. Yet you want to make sure you cover up the tape and that. I think I'm pretty much getting there now. Just this is the one last final sort of go round the fender. Okay, so the last bit is to cast off. So what I do here is I take sort of one of the ropes and I go down underneath the rope that goes diagonally, it's sort of down and to the right of it. And then then I also open up this next one down from that, as you can see here. And I thread the same piece of rope through that as well. When I first started making these, I only did it underneath the top one, and I soon discovered that they pull loose and start to slowly unfail. So I've started with, you know, after the first batch I made of these, I started going under two because you tend to find that they hold together then, and I've never had a problem with them underneath the two lengths of rope. So anyway, you essentially do what I just there and repeat that again. I'll once again speed this up so you know you don't have to sit and watch me do that at normal speed through all 6 of those. So essentially what that is it's sort of down and right, sort of looking at it the right way up, diagonally through the one just below the rope, and then there's another one straight diagonally below that, and you go straight through that as well. So you'll have the piece of rope hanging out sort of like 2 turns below the top of the fender. Now, as you can see, it's a bit tight to get that in, so you will need a spike to thread that. I did originally start making these without the spike, and it's quite difficult. Anyway, what you do then is you pull all these tight, and you really want to give it all you can give it to try and tighten this up, because it's very important. Once you're happy that that's all tight, just literally cut off the lengths of rope and it's done. As you can see here, one completed fender. Okay, so that is how I make fenders. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video and hopefully maybe learnt how to make these for yourself if you wanted to. If you found this useful or just enjoyed it, please like and subscribe this video, and I hope to see you all again next time when I make the next video. See you all soon. Bye bye.